Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you are new, subscribe to our channel, drop this video a like and get involved in the comment section down below and share your lineups on social media. So Everton at home, first home game of the season. Can't wait for it. Sort of getting really excited now about going. So that's all good. And I imagine it's been a big week for Aston Villa at Bodymore, especially on the defending side of things. I imagine there's been numerous video analysis sessions, one-to-one working with certain players, team shape, set piece defending. I imagine it's been quite intense, which it should be. And I think it would be a massive focus on getting back on track and regrouping, and all of the hard work we've done in pre-season, just try and showcase that on Sunday. But one area I think for me, I would hope we've been really working on is defending of set pieces. And I think with Tyrone Mings now out for the foreseeable future, our defending of set pieces is going to be massive. Because if any of you watch our set pieces closely, you will notice that there are two players who are generally classed as the blockers, headers, get it out, picking up zonal rather than picking up a man. And that is Watkins and Mings. Watkins is absolutely brilliant on that near post. Watkins is the first point of contact. So whenever anything goes into the box, it's generally Watkins who's heading it away. And then second phase is Tyrone Mings, who, again, he's absolutely fantastic at it. He blocks everything, heads everything away, makes clearances. So that area is going to need replacing and work, and somebody's going to have to step up to fulfill that role. And for me, there's one man that can do that job, and it's Carlos. I think Carlos is the man to do it. I think he's a great header of the ball. I think he senses danger really well. I think he's very strong as well. So you need a player in there who's quite strong. So I've just kind of gave away one player who's starting for me. So no, I think that sort of would get overlooked by some, but I think it's really important that the player that, maybe it's not Carlos, but for me it would be, I think that area has got to be looked on, along with somebody who's going to be organising the back line as well. So I think we need an organiser in there, with obviously Mings being out. So I would hope that it would be Carlos as well. I think Carlos can do that role of organising the defence. Konsa as well, but I would probably say Carlos for me. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you what my lineup for the Everton game is. And as you can see, there's a slight shift, there's a twist, there's a player missing. And I've gone with Martinez, Torres, Carlos, Konsa, Cash, Kamara, Luiz, McGinn, Tielemans, Diaby, and Watkins. So that is my team. Why have I gone with this team then? So to start off with, I've took out Luca Dean because I think he's leaving. It looks like he's leaving. It looks like he's going to Saudi. So with that in mind, I don't really think he should be playing, because if he's not sticking around, we can't just play him just because we've got nobody else. I think we've got to evolve. We've got to go with what we were going with in pre-season, and it does look like he's leaving. So in turn, I've gone with this, and I've also gone with this because I think that Everton's weakest side is their left-hand side. So as you can see, you've got the two lineups. You've got the lineup that Dyche went with at home against Fulham. I don't see it changing too much. I think Dyche loves the tried and trusted and tested, and he loves this lineup, basically. He loves that Onana, Doucouré, Idrissa Gana. He loves that vibe. So that, I don't see that changing whatsoever. The back four won't change. I think this will pretty much be the same lineup. Calvert-Lewin did play in a closed doors friendly against Manchester United. Mikalenko did as well, but I don't think they will be ready to face Aston Villa at Villa Park. So what do I want from Villa to start with? Well, I want us to control possession. I want us to see us controlling the whole game. That's what Unai Emery wants Aston Villa to do. He wants Villa to control football matches. So with that being said, I think this game will suit what we are all about. So what we want to do is what we want to see Villa doing is we want to see us controlling games. We want to see us the shape looking something similar to that. So when we are in possession of the ball, the shape of the Villa side would look something similar to that. Territorially, we want Everton to be pinned back in their half and for the shape of our team to look like this. In turn, you will have a Matty Cash up against a Iwobi / Ashley Young. You'll have McGinn picking up space in this pocket. You'll have Watkins, who can be dragging defenders into different positions and then enabling a Diaby to pick up pockets of space as well. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. Tielemans, I think he should be playing in this game. I think he could play more of an attacking vibe in this game. Kamara and Luiz looking to dominate possession. I want to see us pressing again as well. I want to see us going back into that 4-4-2 press as soon as Everton get the ball. I want to see us into that shape as well. So I just think with possession, I want Aston Villa to look something similar to that shape there as well. Everton's threat, where does Everton's threat come from then? So Everton's main threat comes from the Iwobi, Doucouré vibe that they have. So Doucouré, in essence, plays as a attacking midfielder. I'm not going to say a number 10 because he wants to sort of break through the lines a little bit as well. But their main threat comes from Iwobi wanting to cut inside. But then in turn, I think that leaves Everton vulnerable. It leaves Ashley Young vulnerable especially. They're looking to play a lot of overload. So they're looking to overload on set pieces as well. So that's how I see the lineups looking like. I think Villa should be quite dominant in this game. I think we should set sort of little traps for them so that when Iwobi goes forward, we look to nick the ball back and then we're away with a Cash and a McGinn. And I think, as you can see, if you look at this team now, if you're sort of halving the team straight down the middle, it's pretty strong. On the right-hand side, you've got McGinn, Cash and Watkins. And then on the left-hand side, you've got Luiz, Tielemans and Diaby. So I think that's pretty strong. If we take a look at some of the screen grabs from the game against Fulham of where Everton looked to do some damage, and it was on transition. Everton did play pretty well against Fulham. I do think they were deserving more. I think a point, or they created enough chances to win this game. But an area of slight worry for me would be if we play the high line, if we are sort of dominating the game and we do get caught on the counter. This was one moment where the ball went loose. And as you can see, Everton are looking to drive forward with players like in numbers, basically. So be aware of the high line, be aware of the line, and be aware of Mopai playing on that shoulder. Again, we spoke about Doucouré playing in that sort of central attacking midfield vibe. There was another instance where he broke free, should have buried it. But I think the way that sort of Everton play with this Doucouré is not an attacking midfielder, but for some reason, Dyche has stumbled across this formation of Onana, Idrissa Gana and Doucouré that he really likes him in this vibe here. So if we can stop that ball into Doucouré, you know, we can be quite savvy in this position, play that box midfield against their three, then I think we should look to get, you know, a little bit of joy in the game, to be fair. If you have a look at sort of, you know, the little box shape that we've got here, it's again a little bit like what I expected against Newcastle. It's a 4v3, so I think we should get joy in those areas. So if we go back to the screen grabs, there's another one where it shows that they are in transition again. They were looking to overload on that opposite side and play that cross-field ball. They love an overload. They especially love an overload on set pieces. Again, an overload on that right-hand side. There's a 2v1, so we have to be aware of that. And then especially when they are pumping balls into the box, another overload. Fulham decided to work with sort of like a shielding three. I don't really like the shielding three because I think it gives the back three a run on static standing defenders. So again, we've got to work and be aware of the overloads. So yeah, lineup wise, I like it. I think mine is pretty decent. Again, I can show you some more screen grabs of the average positions, and this highlights when Iwobi number 17 goes centrally, it leaves massive space. This was the average position as well. So you can see Ashley Young completely isolated. The midfield of Idrissa Gana and Onana, the 27 and the 8. So I really do think that their left-hand side, our right-hand side, that's why I think as well, the Cash pushing on further forward should get more joy. This was the Fulham average position. You've also got the passing network as well. So you can see how high the Young and Iwobi positions are. And then in that sort of circle of Young, Tarkowski, Idrissa, Onana and Iwobi, there's a massive, massive space. So I think we can look to exploit that, especially stop the balls going into Iwobi and Decore, and you'll get a lot of joy in the game as well. You can see again that Fulham got joy on the right hand side as well with their triangle of Reed, Wilson, and Tete, and that triangle there is going up against the 6 and the 18 and the 8. So that triangle where they were getting joy, I think, is again somewhere where Villa would look to exploit as well. They attacked with width on both sides as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I think the shape of our team should be a lot better than what we saw against Newcastle especially. So I'm really looking forward to the game. Villa fans, I want you to let me know what your thoughts are on the lineup that I've gone with. I want to know what your lineup as well. What lineup are you going with? Because it's interesting to see what Villa fans would go with. Whether you would go with the shift onto the right-hand side, or would you stick with the left-hand side? For me, if Luca Dean looks like he's leaving, then I don't really think we can play him. And with Moreno being out, I think that is the best option for the defence. So, yeah, I think maybe if it's not Tielemans, could we maybe see a home debut for Philogene? I think that would be an option as well. I think that would be an option of a Philogene coming out to help Pau Torres. But for me, I'm edging towards a Tielemans. So I really would love to know what your lineups are going to look like. I love doing these predicted lineups. Hopefully you are all enjoying my tactical analysis on teams and on Villa. I'm really enjoying it. I think it adds a different dimension to the channel. So yeah, I'm enjoying doing it. So next up, episode-wise, we will have the press conference from Unai Emery. We'll have our predictions episode as well. And then on Saturday, we are going to have our opposition preview. So thanks, everybody who's watched this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have got this far and you have enjoyed it, then subscribe, drop a like. helps me out. If you are enjoying the content, then at least you can drop me a like and subscribe. So cheers, everybody. Up the Villa.